Hey folks, today we're going to go over installing a Bob trailer through axle. You'll need a 4 and 5 millimeter hex wrench, a torque wrench, some blue Loctite number 242, and some grease. Remove the stock axle from your bike. Make sure it matches your Robert axle in length and geometry. Use the spacers provided only if they are needed. Check that the thread pitch is the same by lining up the threads from both axles, making sure they engage. Remove the factory bobbins, washers, and bolts from each side of your stop bob quick release. Slide the bobbin and washers on each side of the stainless steel axle end caps from Robert axle. Place the narrow side of the bobbins toward the center of the axle. Apply Loctite number 242 to the interior threads of the axle ends and the bolt from the bobbin assemblies. Use a 4 millimeter hex to tighten the bolt that holds the bobbins to the axle. Torque to 6 Newton meters. Apply a little grease to the exterior threads and shaft of your Robert axle. Insert it through the bike frame and wheel. Carefully engage the threads of the Robert axle and hand tighten. Ensure that the Robert axle tightens the frame to the hub before the axle runs out of threads. Grab a short 5 millimeter hex wrench. These are great because they don't give you enough leverage to go over the torque spec. Insert the 5 millimeter hex into the cross hole in the axle end and tighten to 12 Newton meters equivalent. Apply Loctite number 242 to the interior threads on the drive side of the Robert axle. Thread on the drive side axle end cap with the installed bobbin. It should tighten flush against the frame with no gap. If there is a gap, you'll need to install the enclosed washer on the drive side to fill the gap. Torque to 6 Newton meters. You may need to slightly spread the yoke to fit the width of the axle. Now that your Robert axle is installed, follow the Bob manufacturer's instructions for installing the trailer on your bike and get out there. Be sure to check the torque spec of the axle before every ride.